Right guys, Mark Crossfield here with Steve Buzza. Thank you for your time, Stephen.
Thank you.
We're hitting the Sub Zero XR driver. This is a driver that you are seriously thinking about putting in your bag, I think. We'll talk about why I've hit a few shots as well using GC2 HMT. We've got some real ball data which we'll share with you. Now, you've got to understand this is a very limited club, which we'll talk about a little bit. But let's get hitting the XR Sub Zero. Let's get stuck in. Right, Steve, XR Sub Zero. Do we know the head shape, size? Is it smaller head? You don't know, do you?
I don't know.
It's slightly smaller.
Slightly smaller, but the toe profile seems to be out just a little bit. So they seem to have changed the shape.
Okay.
Just a fraction.
Now, it's a much crisper, cleaner top line.
Yes.
When I was on the tour truck at Augusta, they were saying lots of their tour players like that cleaner, crisp line. Obviously, the XR, so I've got mine here, which we're going to show some compared data with. I've got the Boeing engineered design on the top of mine.
Yeah, so this is more in keeping with what they've usually done in the past. I mean, the Pro Series usually completely clean. Doing the standard product tends to have the little arrow on it. Yeah. And with the Boeing technology that they've put on that one, I actually quite like it.
Yeah, I love it. But I actually prefer the matte finish to my XR Pro and XR than I do the Sub. But that's also quite glossy and nice.
It's nice. It's a bit like the 815 finish. Yeah. To the previous models of the Alphas. So. Absolutely.
Now we're getting two weight ports, aren't we? So we get a heavy gram and a heavyweight and a lightweight, which you can exchange from the rear to the front. Yeah. And if you put it at the front, and we'll show you some numbers in a second, we start seeing some quite low spin numbers. Is the idea?
Yes. Yeah. That's the whole point of it.
Okay, and then it's got obviously the Sub Zero idea is all about trying to just drag spin really down for their better players. I was lucky enough to film Colsaert's one. I think Brandon Grace is using one.
Yeah, he won with one, didn't he, last week?
Indeed, and also Mickelson has been using one.
Yeah, well, Mickelson, it was meant to be a tour only. They weren't even going to release any to the public. I think Phil was seen using it quite a bit and people thought that this was next year's product, which isn't the case. It's just slightly different.
I mean, there's only 100 of these heads in circulation in Europe.
Yes.
This is not a product that you are going to go into your shop and look at and find. It's only a very selective few custom fit specialists. Let's hit some and see what it feels like. Yes. Do you want to hit a few first? We'll talk about the numbers in a second. If you hit a few first, just to give me an idea of sounds, looks and those kind of things. I mean, down by the ball it looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like the look. The toe profile is a bit further out. It makes it look maybe a fraction bigger than it actually is. Yeah. I like the matte finish, but this is nice and glossy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The shininess.
Shiny. Is pretty. Everybody likes a bit of shiny.
Good shot. Quite a good sound, isn't it? It's a bit louder, I would say, in this one.
Yes. Yeah.
A bit kind of tingier.
Yeah, and when I read the spec on it, I thought it might be a little harsh. I mean, not that forgiving. When you put a driver down, you think this will go miles, or it might go sideways. Yeah, yeah. Looking down at it, it does give me the sense that there's a little forgiveness in there. Okay. Although that is just opinion only, Mark. Don't judge where this one goes. Yeah.
That's a good drive. So if I have a quick hit as well, and then we'll present some numbers. You know, this club for me is, I get it's kind of its exclusivity almost to a very niche kind of player who's really able to see the benefit in talking about such small amounts of spin.
Oh, definitely.
Coming off the club. I've got this in your shaft here. When I tested it, I used all my shaft. I do like the white shaft into the black head. It looks fantastic. Yes. And I like the old funky grip that you put on these.
It's a big boy grip as well. Four layers under that one.
Is it?
4 layers.
I literally don't mind. I can say that, no problem. It's a lovely shape. It sits very square. Got a changeable neck as well, we should mention.
Yes.
So you can dial in with it also. Yeah, it's a very different sound to mine. It's a completely different sound. I wonder how conscious that is. I mean, you'd hope that is very conscious, but
yeah, R&D departments.
Not the kind of sound I would relate to this type of club as much.
No, yeah, you usually get that like carbony sound, don't you? It's more of a thud.
That one sounds more like I would want a Better Players Club to sound in my head. It sits lovely. It's a good-looking club. I mean, I could game this actually. I could easily game this. I'm looking forward to seeing the spin numbers. Let's show them a little bit about the numbers. I tested with the weight back and weight forward. You want the weight forward?
Yeah, I've got the weight forward.
Yes,
The
spin down
definitely.
always. Good looking club, changeable neck like they've all got. You're losing the bowing design on the top, which I think is kind of pointless if you're an amateur golfer. Anything that might encourage some speed, not that I think it actually does much, but would help you. And obviously there's such a little amount of these in circulation.
Yeah, like I say,
like, why are we even doing this?
Yeah, well, like I say, they weren't even planning on releasing any at one point. I think it's people saw it and they thought we'll put a few out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's have a look at the numbers, see what it actually does. Right, if we look at my numbers first, this is exactly what I'd expect. So I was spinning the Sub Zero with the heavy weight at the front, so in its lowest position, at 1891.
Is that knuckleball?
They are 1, 2, 3. Well, no, there's 2 knuckleballs. One spinning at 1.5, which is not enough spin.
So that's an anti-knuckleball.
That is that becomes like a back of the hand ball.
So instead of the high pitch knuckleball, that's just a knuckle.
And then one spinning at 2-1. So the spin is really good, but I would find with that club that I think I might get punished a little bit on the miss hits. But it's good. And then when I moved the weight around, so I put the heavier weight at the back, the spin went up around 300 revs, which I imagine is exactly what they would want that weight to be doing. 252 average difference to 258 with the lower spinning numbers, because I was 2417, 2000 and 21 on spins with the weight in a different position. Still topped out at 261 to 262, so my top 2 hits with both of the weight positions, there was not much in it.
That's unlike you to be.
So consistent with the club. And then when I went to my XR Pro, so I compared it to my XR Pro, 257, so 1 yard difference and no difference really, and spinning around the 2000. So knuckleball, I would probably get Matt to shout that one. Not a knuckleball, but if it gets a good bounce, the 2,400 revs would get up there and I'd say, oh, Matt, I didn't mind that well, I'm up with you. But you see what I mean, that's why I'm XR Pro. I like that consistency of that spin. I don't want it to get too low. I mean, the 1.5 scares me.
And I know, like with the new XR Pro, compared to the 16 versus the 15, they actually tried to make it a little more playable. Actually, to trying to put a bit more spin in to give you that consistency, exactly what you're saying there.
Which is why I'm using XR Pro and still am loving it, because it's just giving me the numbers that I want. Averaging 257 is where I am. So if we look at your numbers, talk me through what you found with yours then. So you found a little bit more distance from Sub Zero. Yeah,
so the Sub Zero, I got it up to an average carry of 298.
Okay.
Against the XR Pro where I was down at 280. Okay. So a massive increase, but you have to factor in my strike. So I'm on the course, on the driving range, wherever I am at the minute, I'm hitting it a bit low on the face. Okay. So hitting it low on the face, it's adding a little bit of spin and it's lowering the launch, and that's kind of 2 things that I don't really want. So what the Sub Zeros allowed me to do is, as I've got the weight forward, and it's very much like I've got the Alpha 3-wood, so it's got the same, so I've done exactly the same in my 3-wood, put the heavier weight in the front. What I've actually found I've been able to do with the Sub Zero is add a little bit of loft. Okay. So adding a little bit of loft, it's giving me a bit more launch, and I'm certainly not adding the spin. Right. So it's working really nicely for me.
What is the spin difference between Sub and your XR Pro?
So 2-3.
With everything with the sub. Deselected.
So we let's select a few.
Because I think the numbers I've captured have got them all.
So 2.5 with the Sub. Yeah. And I was about 2.5 with the Pro as well.
But you were getting your better, like your longer shots with the Sub on the lower spins, because you've hit more shots with the Sub.
I hit more subs. I hit more with the Sub, and what we found, and there's one. So one I hit 302. I span it at 1.9, launched it at 14.4. But that was very much strike dependent, so I was able to hit that one slightly higher than the others. And that's what gave it that far better recipe. But what I like about the Sub is when I'm hitting it lower in the face, I'm still getting a spin that I can use on the course. Because the last thing I want to be doing is really spinning it. But like anything, so this shot 9, I've spun that one at 3,000. I've hit it quite low, because it's a beautiful club.
But it's not going to save a ball strike like any club. Good stuff. Well, there you go. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for that. I mean, what I see when I look at your numbers and talk to you about the Sub over the XR Pro, because you've only just gone to the XR Pro, is I think there's a little bit, and I don't mean this in a nasty way, but there's a little bit of you that wants the Sub Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah,
in
no,
the
definitely.
numbers, even the way you interpret them is you're interpret them the way you want them to be. And if I was fitting you, I would read that and I would run with
definitely.
you.
Definitely.
Like if you had to play XR Pro, I think you'd still be the same player. I just think emotionally, and maybe on the odd shot, you are going to squeeze a bit more.
Oh yeah, 100%. You got like I've got a scientific background, so I'll read into the tech. I like the way where the CGs are.
Yeah.
I played an event last week and struggled a bit in the first round, so the thought of being able to put a little more loft on it's made me feel a little more comfortable.
There's a lot of feeling in that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think that's something that these people get. We look at the data. I mean, I use the data often just to try and back people's feelings up more.
Oh no, definitely. And it's looking at my spins, and my spin is a little high at the minute with whatever club I use because of where I'm striking it on the face.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's something that I'll work towards.
Yeah.
And that's where I'll see big gains. But when you've already got it at 302, mate,
Yeah, it's already out.
how much further can you go?
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm feeling. I don't like the way that my pad's so much smaller.
Your pad's shrunk a little bit there, mate.
Yeah.
Isn't it? There you go. Sub Zero. Post comments down below. I mean, there's only 100 in circulation. This is a review more to trying to show you that it's very small differences, and maybe this isn't the driver that they should all be thinking, oh, I can't get it, I want it, because there's often that feeling.
Yeah.
For me, my XR Pro is doing more for me than the Sub Zero would, and I think it would for a lot of you. Thanks for your time, Steve, as always.
Cheers, thank you.
Post comments as always down below, and we'll speak to you soon. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, all the normal social places. Also, come and visit my new website, markcrossfieldgolf.com. See you over there.